By the way,
yeah.
I noticed something. We'll get to your choice in a second, but I noticed something very interesting about seeing my second playthrough. So, in my first one, I didn't agree with Emily, and I went up to the radio tower, and then she gave me the flare gun, and I kept it. You know, as Matt. But in the second playthrough, I agreed with her, went up to the tower, and then gave him the flare gun, and he fired off the flare gun.
Yeah.
So that was a different kind, different scenarios I had.
Yeah, like
Because I used the flare gun on the Wendigo because I get dragged out in the first playthrough. I fell down with her, and I used the flare gun to shoot the Wendigo, and it kept Matt alive. So yeah, it was definitely a big twist in that one because that was one of the strange ones where I was like, oh, it's very different, like viewing the different choice.
I feel like like even you telling me that now, I feel like they're like. This game still
variations,
so many of them. Like I don't know if I'd necessarily want to do another fucking playthrough. I'm kind of tired of the game at this point, but like because 3 fucking playthroughs, you get you want to break. But I would love to like go on YouTube and see all those variations. That sounds like really cool. Well, for me, okay, like here's the thing. I liked all the characters really. Like I thought all of them. Like, because they're all the archetypes. It's like Cabin in the Woods. You have the jock, you have the smart person, you have the, the bitch, you have the slut, you have this, you know what I mean? Like, they're all variations of those things, more or less. So they each were so interesting, because they're, like, different facets of, like, a human being, almost. So I found them all interesting, so really, or not interesting, but cool, and I like them. But if I had to rate them, like, on not necessarily favorite, but more like who I felt was the most interesting. I would say Josh was definitely the most interesting character for obvious reasons. Like, he's the one that has so much like psychological and emotional baggage, and plus he has some really fucking great lines once he goes crazy. Like, do you remember when Mike is like, "Look, I'll keep watch over him," and he's like, "A sleepover? Can we order pizza?" Like, that was so. You know what it reminded me of a lot when he was acting like that at the end of the game. It reminded me of Stu from Scream. Like at the end where he's like going like, it's a Scream, baby,
Faces soon, your mom was no Sharon stuff.
Yeah, like shit like that, like it's so reminded me of that character. So I
gave it away, and now you're no longer a virgin. What a great character he is.
It's the rule said, sorry. Yeah, like that he reminded me of that near the end. So he was just such an interesting character. And at the end when he's going ape shit and all that fucking crap is happening, and you see Hannah and Beth haunting him, and the fact that Dr. Hill, or his fictitious Dr. Hill, is like, in his head the whole time. Like, there is so much to Josh that I wish we would have gotten more of him, to be honest.
Yeah, because Josh is very interested in the fact that he doesn't kill anyone.
Yeah, he just wants to fuck with them.
Yeah, all he wants to do is fuck with... That's the entire point. That's like one of the great things about the horror plot of that, was the fact that he's just basically... saying, hey, I'm just fucking with you, really. It's like, I want you to feel... And I even love the little essences of social media they creep into it. Doing like, she's like, what the fuck are you doing on your phone? Were you tweeting, you dickhead, when that ghost went across Ashley with Chris? That's the kind of subtle hint of where horror has done really well in a game, rather than where Scream 4's like, it needs to be all uploaded online, blah, blah. Even when Josh, he's like, I'm going to upload this all online, and then they don't understand that. It's just like, it's a prank. Obviously, it's a really... like crazy prank, but I agree with you. The character is great of Josh, like definitely, I'll give you props for that.
And also, he really likes porn. He's always using porn analogies, like we're gonna party like porn stars, and I'm like, do porn stars really party a lot? I would imagine rock stars would. And he's like, you guys making a porno? I'd pay to see it, and like stuff like that. I'm like, what's up with porn and Josh? I mean, I get it, people like porn, but So, but for least interesting, not least favorite, but least interesting, it's a tie. It's really between Matt and Jessica. And the only reason I'm even saying they're my least favorite is because, we don't really get anything from them. Like, we get, like, little snippets, but, like you said, like, what a shit, like, cop-out that at the end they're just thrown into the mines together. Like,
exactly. That's why I don't really rate that story, because it's like they're just together,
like
in the fucking middle of nowhere. And it's just like, what? And they're just like, but the thing is, it's like as soon as Matt falls into that mine, that's the end of his story, basically.
Yeah,
because they really don't build on that. And like even with him and Em, like that's the thing. Like that's what I feel like was missing with it. Like just some of the connections and relationships.
Yeah,
like it just kind of made me feel a little bit like what. And then like Jess is in there. It's like they disappear, and like because there's so many characters. They don't have time to like just flesh out some of them. It's like you said, Hayden Panettiere has the longest bath in video game history for 6 chapters before she turns up again. Because I was so confused when I played that game. I was like, why have I not played it to her? And then for some reason, Mike's one of the main characters. Along with him is Chris. And then, like bouncing back and forth. You play as Josh for like 4 minutes at the end. Probably less than that, like 2 minutes when you're in the water. You literally go from one room to the water, and that's it.
Yeah.
And depending if you got that diary, he lives or not.
Which is kind of weird, right? That was like they were trying to determine how can we kill... Because I think they wanted ultimately for all the characters to be able to die or live. And I think with Josh, they're like, how do we do it? Oh, fuck it, a diary. We'll do that. And I mean, it's kind of cool. It's a cool diary. It's very Resident Evil, like reading...
Well, I think they only do it because it's the trigger point, because like he notices the tattoo, and he calls out to Hannah, and that's why she stops, crushing out his head.
Right.
It's kind of a weird one, but it's kind of like when you go out to it, how do you kill off Josh when he's barely playable?
Yeah, that's true. Like they had, there's a point where you have to kind of like make compromises. So
the weirdest one is the stranger's death. That's a real big cop out.
I wanted to save him. He was such a cool... If you really look back, he's the hero of the game. He's protecting them the whole fucking time.
He was a really weird character. They really I think the events of the past, if you collect all the totems, it explains what he does. Because you can rewind the entire thing and play
it's
it.
Super epic, by the way. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool that how they even do that. It's really really unique cinematic for video games. But yeah, it feels like a massive cop out with him. One of the things I like about the game though is the balance of the cast. It's men, women. Do you know how they balance it out? It's not 8 dudes having a frat boy party with Jesse Eisenberg in the in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, no, I think that's really great. Yeah, it was. I mean, there's some things I know they were doing some things that were like horror cliches and shit, like having Sam walk around the towel, like scantily clad and whatnot.
I think they intentionally do that though, because it's really funny that's the entire that Sam is in the towel.
Yeah,
and she was just like, "Fucking hell, guys, you fucking with me already enough?" And she comes down the stairs and she's in a towel. It's like the last thing you really want to be caught up in the situation. Same with do you know when Scream 2, they're watching Stab 2.
She takes off the robe.
And she takes off the towel, and then the phone rings and she puts it back on. They're like, boo, in the cinema.
So no, I totally got that, but I would wonder how wouldn't it be interesting to see roles reversed a little bit? That'd be a hell of a sequel, wouldn't it?
Towel.
Yeah, but no, that would be hilarious. Mike in a towel and then him running around, that would be. I think that would be an interesting sequel. Not necessarily getting the entire first game and doing role reversals, but doing a horror game and doing the whole have the girl be the one that goes in and again, not just to make it a girl doing this or a guy doing that, but to get those familiar horror motifs and turn them on their head a bit. I think that would be really intriguing for a sequel.
As you said there, a very interesting one would have been getting Josh killed off in the first part of the game and then using Hannah and Beth.
Oh yeah, both of them, a Scream type thing, right?
Yeah, the Scream motif for the fact that there's 2 killers.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things for me, as a horror fan, my biggest regret is not watching Scream in cinema. The more I watch Scream, the more I appreciate it as one of the greatest horror films ever made, because, I remember reading on the documentary when they were watching, we were watching it in cinemas and people were, gasping because when they revealed the reveal, it broke horror convention so much because it's 2 killers. There were 2 killers that no one expected.
It's like the Empire Strikes Back of horror, that Vader scene.
It was such a huge moment because when you watch it, it's just at that finale, it's Dewey's the killer. No, he's not. Courtney Cox is the killer. No, it's wait, what? Who is the killer? Because you're asking everyone, you're everyone is in this one place. Who is it? And then it's 2 killers. And that's the big twist. And you're wait, what? There's 2 killers doing it. And I think the motive speech that he gives Billy is fucking excellent, because they were going to cut that at first, but then they decided to include it. But yeah, I think that would have been a big switch for it. But I think what they're doing with the characters, I think role switch would work fine. But I think the entire point is what Until Dawn is doing it is mocking the cliches, and it works perfectly for the characters. Hayden Panettiere running around in a towel. You have the girls running around screaming crazy as they do in a horror movie, and they're running and just thinking the guys always being macho with a gun and getting slaughtered during the first minute they can. It plays on really good themes as well, because if you look at it and look at horror movie, it's what guys do. Mike, I'm going to go out on my own and fight that Wendigo, even though I have no flamethrower or anything else. And then the other guys have to chase after him because he's gone on a suicide mission. Yeah. So it's really cool for that, kind of when you look into it more in kind of a subtext of what horror is, it really, really nails it. Really nails it well. I think again though, I mean people would have been if it was just the Beth Hannah thing, it'd be oh, it's too Scream. because it's just, it's not original of where it is. But I think for what they did, it was really good. I think they had some great moments. The totems were excellent addition where it shows like, the future, fortune, guidance, loss, death. You have these kind of like little snippets to give you, and you're like, oh, I can play the game this way. Collectibles are great as well. Like, it gives a lot more depth to the story. Overall, really good. Really, really good. One of the sleep hits of 2015. I need to play Life is Strange Episode 5 before I make that, what my decision is, what the sleeper hit is.
Yeah.
I think, oh god, what a horror game. Like, I always love, this is me in my horror mood. This is where, I love seeing, a horror game really shine, or a movie, do something that comes out of water and really blows me away. It's the same with, horror movies. Recently when I watched The Babadook and It Follows, I was like, fuck me, I wish the industry was churning out more films like this, because this is what you call horror. It's so well done. It plays on, great themes, it has new ideas, it has great potential, it lives up to potential, and, Until Dawn is the definition of that. I think, Sony are now promoting it and trying to sell it up in the holiday season, but they missed out. They should really put a lot of effort behind this. I think they had resources. We talked about this in the Game Headline show.
I think releasing it on Halloween, the day before Halloween, release it October 30th.
Oh, yeah.
Would have been great. Honestly,
it would have made sense for it would have made sense for their fall lineup as well.
Oh, yeah.
It would have given something to the fall lineup. A horror game coming out before Halloween. And again, the people have them there, Peter Stormare, Rami Malek, Hayden Panettiere. You want to get these people on camera, remember Beyond Two Souls? Ellen Page, I think, did 50 interviews on Beyond Two Souls. She was plugging
you mentioned this Camila Luddington for Tomb Raider. She was on Conan O'Brien, I remember.
Yeah,
when the game was coming out.
Yeah, she was talking about on talk show hosts. You want people like this. Then Camila Luddington's on Grey's Anatomy. She's a big star. You have to get the attention. Obviously she was Lara Croft, but that sells itself. But Hayden Panettiere, she's got a reputation behind herself. Stormare, people like this. You want to get them on talk show hosts and stuff. Sony should have plugged the living hell out of this game, because this game could have made a fortune. Because when you have that many people in it, and name and stuff, you want to get it. Remember how many times we brought Kiefer Sutherland out on stage? It's just you have that presence.
He would come out I have no idea what I'm doing. He would just come out, but you're it's awesome. It's Kiefer
with ashes on his face.
I completely wholeheartedly agree with you. I think this is I strongly consider this Sony's big game of the year. There's always that big major title that they call it the big three every year. And for this year, what is it? Xbox One has Halo 5. That's their big first party game. And what is it Nintendo had? I guess Super Mario Maker is the closest thing they had. I think this game, Until Dawn, is Sony's big game. It has a great cast. It's really cool and very interesting and very different. I think it's one of their best looking games, the best looking PS4 game out there right now. It is kind of a shame. I hope now, I know there's a lot of word of mouth, a lot of critic and user reviews, on Metacritic and all those other places. They've been praising this game up and down. Definitely more positive than negative reviews. And I'm hoping that kind of gives them recognition going forward, and that this game gets the... we're doing this Spoilercast again also. It's been almost 2 months since the game came out, but we wanted to do this also to kind of give it recognition as well, and plus to talk about it, because hell of a game. My final thoughts on it are, what a great way. It really went 360 degrees. It started off as this PS3 PlayStation Move title, and then it kind of gravitated. It went missing. It was missing milk carton picture on the milk carton missing, and it came back in in a big way last year when they revealed actually it's more of a Resident Evil game, and it's on PS4 and it looks amazing. And look, Hayden Panettiere's in it, and all these other cast members are in it, and it became such a great game. Also, let me point out, Supermassive Games, these are the guys that, if you look at their gamography, they made Start the Party, okay? They made all these games that didn't really get a whole lot of recognition and stuff, and they made Until Dawn. So that just shows, don't ever write off a company. I don't think you should ever, because if you look at their first game and you look at this, it's wow, they made this. That's amazing.
I think anything, if it defies any expectations, if you move into horror and make a successful horror game, it does say a lot about your talented writers and stuff. I always believe that horror is one of the hardest, one of the hardest games, films, anything to really create, because it's such a unique genre. It's really hard to kind of master because there's so many elements to it. But that's that. I think I'm exhausted right now.
Yeah, I think we've finished the show. So,
so that's it for this installment of Gamer Headlines, the Spoilercast. For up-to-date episodes from Spoilercast, be sure to follow our other podcast, the Gamer Headlines Show, on Twitter at TGH Show, and like our official Facebook page, the Gamer Headlines Show. Additionally, the Gamer Headlines Spoilercast and also Gamer Headlines Show can be found on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and, of course, right here at GamerHeadlines.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the near future.
Take care, guys.